Hey, Scruffy. How you doing? Yeah, I'm about a half hour early. Oh, that's meow. So I have your ocean whitefish and kibble. And I can actually smell it from here. So I bet you can smell it too. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm going to open the screen here. We'll bring out your food when you're ready. Yeah. So it didn't rain. So I bet you had a better day today. Yeah. Feel a draft. Probably should move so I can bring out your food. Yeah? Just like sitting there, huh? Like blocking my path? Okay, there you go. Okay, let's get moving. Okay, so let's put the food on the table. And let's put the glove on. Okay. Scruffy's walking away. There you go. So it didn't rain anymore. It was a little cooler today. I was actually really tired this morning. I actually slept in a little bit, not a lot, but yeah, I was able to get a little bit more sleep today. So I guess that was good. But yeah, I'm still kind of just depressed and really not improved much. So, just trying to get through the day. Some days seem to be harder to get through than other days. So I've been continuing to work on my taxes, and I am, climbed up. So I'm at the point where I started actually printing stuff on paper. And that's coming up. And my printer has been warning me for, I think, over a year now that it's low toner. So, fortunately, I actually bought a new cartridge a while back when it first happened. But the thing that surprised me was how long I was able to go with that low toner message. So I think they're being overly cautious, or so I've read. I don't know about my printer in particular, but I've read claims that some other printers never actually even use up the toner when they say they're out. So there's still like maybe 10% or 20% left. And I think I've heard there may have been lawsuits for that, but I don't know whatever happened with those. And the thing I noticed about my printer was the quality of the print was still good. And I've had printers in the past where when the toner was low, you could tell that the print's starting to deteriorate. Certain parts of the paper weren't being printed as dark as they should be, maybe splotches of missing ink, and so those were very obvious. You needed a new cartridge. But yeah, my current printer, yeah, the print's been fine, so I haven't been very motivated to replace the toner cartridge until I actually had to. But it finally stopped printing, and the whole printer just refused to print, even though the page that came out right before it stopped was perfectly fine. And of course, yeah, I wasn't finished printing my tax return, so I was kind of annoyed. Yeah, is it that Murphy's Law? You know, the time you need something to work the most, that's when it fails. But I have been thinking, when do I actually print? And when I print, is it always important, or is it only sometimes important? And so I've been trying to think. And actually, one of the things I do print a lot are like maps from my Google. So actually, I think most of my printing is actually not that important. So yeah, this was kind of Murphy's Law to some degree. But on the other hand, I have so many forms I have to print this year. It surprised me. I wasn't expecting I'd have to file so many forms. And I guess because I have so many forms, I guess, yeah, that's a case to be made that, yeah, that's going to use up your toner. Stupid taxes. And make it so complicated. He likes the chin rub, I think. Didn't meow all the time, but I think he likes the chin rub. So yeah, it stopped. So one of the last things I did last night was start a print job because I knew I had a lot of papers to print, and then I noticed it midway through it errored out saying out of toner. So I didn't feel like changing the cartridge last night. So this morning when I got up, yeah, first thing I did was I changed the cartridge, and I don't think I've actually changed the cartridge on this one before. So it's a relatively new printer. It's not that new, but it came with a starter cartridge that I think had a lot of ink in it. So I think it was actually supposed to have less ink than the normal cartridge, but I don't print that much. And I actually bought the printer for my dad. He printed more stuff than I did, but even he didn't really print that much. Yeah, it's a laser printer. I bought it because my dad was getting sick of having to change the ink cartridges on the inkjets because those are really expensive, and they seem to really cheat you on the ink. So not only do they seem to waste ink, but just normally printing, and they're not very efficient. I found out like a lot of the printers actually frequently waste ink to, I guess, unclog the jets, or like a periodic kind of cleaning type thing. And the only way to stop that is to basically completely unplug the printer. But then the ink sometimes also just gets clogged up in the or dries up in the cartridges. So I said, yeah, I'm gonna get you a laser printer. Don't have those kinds of problems, and the cost per page is a lot cheaper in the end. Don't get color, or at least I didn't buy a color printer, too expensive. But yeah, I actually like the printer overall. Okay, I think we're about food time, huh? Looking right at me. Saying, yeah, it's food time. What are you waiting for? Oh, there's a meow. Okay, let's get your food. Okay, here's your food. Okay, actually got through that side. So he's been better the past few days about me brushing that side. Though I'm actually going more across than down. So I noticed he seems to hate it more when I go straight down his side rather than kind of the long way with his spine. Okay, I think I'm done. So let's see. Did I see Scruffy today? Yeah, I did. So early this morning, I did see him on the rocks, but I didn't have my camera. But it was overcast this morning, so I think by the time I came back with the camera, he was gone. Maybe he got fed up because the sun wasn't there. And then I think, yeah, later I saw him on the deck, but I didn't have my camera again. I think I moved it when I didn't plan to. So yeah, he was just grooming, I think, on the deck. And then finally I came out at lunch to bring out his water. And he was kind of out in the open with near the round table, I think. Once again, he was actually in a place where I didn't spot him easily from the kitchen because the potted plant was in the way, and the big table. But he was clear in sight when they came out the water. So he seemed to be a little bit alarmed at first when I came out. I don't think he was expecting me. I stood out here for a few moments, and he just sat there. He didn't seem unhappy to see me, but he didn't seem also like he was really eager to come over. Then the instant I started stepping back, I think it was coincidentally he actually at the same time started walking over, so that actually surprised me. But since I was already starting to move backwards, I thought, well, I might as well just finish going in. So I thought he was going to go for the water, but he actually stopped short, and he ended up sitting, kind of just on the deck. Kind of in front of me, but still ways back and not quite at the water just yet. And he just watched me. I thought eventually he'd go for the water, but he actually seemed to be waiting for me to do something. So didn't know what to do since I was already inside at this point, and I had things I needed to do. So I went inside. There's the blinds. I did take a quick peek out to see if he came for the water. I didn't see him come for the water, and then I left. And when I came back, I didn't see him at all anywhere through the window, at least. He's probably still out on the deck, just probably not in a place where I could see him from the window. But he did move away from the water dish. So yeah, that was my encounter with Scruffy today. So I went for a run today. Decided to wear my new pair of shoes. Yeah, my feet are still getting tired with those shoes, so they're still not broken in. My run was still terrible, but it was So I did three laps, and it came in a little under an hour. So it's a terrible run, but of all the terrible runs I've been doing since I started up again in the last few weeks, it was one of the better runs. It's probably about tied with one of the other ones I did. But yeah, I did have trouble kind of keeping focus at certain points. The first lap I did okay for the most part, and then yeah, the second 2 laps, yeah, just keeping focus and keeping a pace, yeah, became harder and harder. To compensate, I tried running a little bit faster when I resumed my running, so it wasn't quite an interval type run, but it did help my overall time, I think. So when I fell out of my pace and maybe started walking or something, when I resumed, I was running faster to partially make up for time lost. I think next time I'm going to have to do a proper interval run. Didn't see any cats today. No, I take that back. I did see the porch cat on the way back. But yeah, that was it. And so when I went out, the sun had come out, so yeah, the weather wasn't too bad. It was a little cooler, a little windier, but the sun was out. I didn't have to wear long pants, so I did wear a sweater. Last time I ran, I was actually regretting bringing a sweater. It's a little too hot. But today was fine. So yeah, I still need to actually review the printed pages to make sure that everything's there and in the proper order, and then I still have to insert the pages that TurboTax doesn't do, though I did fill those out last night, and I was surprised at how many pages there were. So I've done it before. I had forgotten it was more than a couple pages. But yeah, this year I complicated my life because I bought a bunch of sister funds. So the one I owned before was kind of a blend of a bunch of them, and then this year the fund crashed. I wasn't too worried. I knew it would come back, but I realized there's probably an opportunity to tax loss harvest. So I sold everything, and then I bought into some of the sister funds, which are not blend funds, but if you buy like all the sister ones, it's like the blend fund. So basically, it's a good replacement alternative. He's jumpy. So I move the balls. So I've completely divested myself of the first fund, but I still have to file paperwork for that one. But now that I've bought into these new ones, I got to file paperwork for those as well. So I've multiplied the amount of paperwork I have to do, which is the big downside. the paperwork's almost identical between all of them, so it's not that hard, but since I have to print these things and mail them in, it starts adding up. It's a lot of paper. And I mean, it's not a major deal, but yeah, I just had not internalized that when I made the decision way back to tax loss harvest. I think Scruffy's about done. There's a little bit of smear in the corner, but I don't think he's going to do it or eat it. So it's interesting. He's decided to groom himself in my line of sight again, but still kind of far away. Not sure. I'm not sure what he's thinking when he does that. So he doesn't trust me to chill out next to me. A lot of times he just leaves. But sometimes he only goes halfway like that. And never really fully understood that. Okay, folks, I think I'm going to go in. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.